Welcome to a brief overview on tips for focusing on Tai Chi for health. First, a quick note. It is always recommended to talk with your doctor before beginning any new exercise. I am Dr. Tony Gryffin, a researcher and longtime Tai Chi practitioner who has been investigating the hows and whys behind the many reported benefits of Tai Chi and other slowing, breath-focused exercises. My research indicates that this may include slower paces of walking as well. An overview of past research, including over 200 studies and 50 case stories, can be found in my book, Mindful Exercise, Meta-aerobics, Healing, and the Power of Tai Chi. In this video, I'll go over some of the unique aspects of Tai Chi, which can be particularly enhance health, states related to states relaxation, range of motion, benefits for back health, and also balance. Being relaxed helps your body to function more efficiently. It is one of the reasons sleep is so important for healing. Preliminary research indicates that many of the benefits of slower paced exercises, such as Tai Chi and even slower paces of walking, may be due to unique metabolic effects similar to stage 2 and stage 3 sleep, during which cellular regeneration and healing occur. Here's one of the early charts. And what we find is people with chronic conditions that in particular will get a large drop post-Tai Chi, post-walking. They'll go through the exercises, the blood oxygen saturation will generally increase to around 97, 98, sometimes 99%. And then following the exercise, when they are done, there'll be a momentary large drop. I've had readings as low as 82%, just for a few seconds. Even in people, I don't see this as big in people who are healthy adults. Sometimes the drop really isn't noticeable, but even in healthy adults, it looks like we're getting a little bit of a drop, but it's still above 94%. So what we're looking at theory-wise is that the blood oxygenation blood oxygen saturation during Tai Chi, Qigong, slower paces of walking are particularly noticeable in those with chronic conditions, dropping to levels sometimes well below 90%. Even those with good conditions seem to expose that small post-drop, as I'd mentioned. The momentary blood saturation we see similar drops periodically during sleep, and you also see it particularly like stage 2 and stage 3 sleep, but more research is needed in this area. But that drop in oxygen saturation, if your body is momentary drop, if your body is using oxygen in a different way, and it's similar to stage 2 and stage 3, during which cellular regeneration and healing occur, that indicates that these breath-focused exercises may enhance that metabolic state that enhances cellular regeneration and healing. Again, more research needed in this area. Beyond the benefits that have been documented for balance and blood pressure, and we see health benefits, we don't necessarily know why. This may explain the reasons why. So going to the tips. Tip number 1, focusing on slow, relaxed movements, coordinated with slower and deeper, but still relaxed breaths. Gently breathing in deeply from the abdomen and chest in a relaxed way, not stressing it, and then breathing out, contracting the abdomen and chest. Similar to stage 2 and stage 3 sleep, deeper stages of sleep, the breathing slows and the breathing becomes deeper. During these exercises, you may feel a tingling in the hands or the body, which may indicate increased oxygen diffusion across the cells. Tip 2 includes a focus on gentle body alignment and shifting of weight, but also coupled with physical relaxation. For most of the movements, the knees are gently bent, but never to the point where they're past the toes of the toes. The knees and feet are kept in alignment, shifting back and forth, adjusting as you need to keep everything in line through the movements. Originally, the shifting had martial applications for controlling the movement and distance of an opponent, moving back and closing distance, but it turns out that the gentle swaying and gentle twisting of the body helps with relaxation, similar to the gentle rocking of the cradle of a boat. It can also help improve balance as you're going back and forth through the movements, which I'll talk about more later. Tip 3 involves gentle spinal alignment, which can help with back health. As you move through these movements, you gently rotate the hips forward a little bit, dropping the tailbone, opening up the hips. This can help leave the back tension in the lower back and align the spine, almost like there's a string on the bottom of the tailbone pulling down. And then Also imagine like there's a string pulling up gently on the crown of the head. So you're getting a gentle stretch through the spine, working slowly and gradually within your range of motion. The spinal alignment can really help with back health. It's done wonders for my back, and a lot of research is showing benefits in different areas along this. But always keeping in mind your doctor's advice and within your range of motion. Tick 4 expands on this relaxation into the hands and the arms, the entire body. Traditionally in Tai Chi, the lower hand presses down at the end of many of the movements, as if pulling the arm of an attacker down. And for a variety of reasons, depending on the movement, the lower arm also might be curved. Myself and various other teachers, Chen Manqing, one of the famous teachers from the last century, T.T. Liang, didn't start Tai Chi until 45 due to a variety of severe health conditions. The doctors did not expect him to last very long. He started Tai Chi and he lived to be 102. But both of these teachers tended to advocate just letting the arm hang relaxed, even the hand relaxed as you go through these movements. And that may help with the relaxation aspects in the Tai Chi versus the curve where you have a little bit of tension in the body and the pressing down. I found that initially pressing down and then relaxing the hand may be a kind of a compromise, enhance the state of relaxation and oxygen diffusion in the hands and arms. I find that when I press down at the end of the movement and then relax, that I feel that tingling really enhanced. It really seems to help open up the circulation in the hands. May help with arthritis and other conditions. So I press down as in traditional, but then I relax the hand. More research is needed in these areas, but the differences can be felt as an increased tingling in the hands and other areas of the body, which, as noted earlier, may be due to the increased oxygen diffusion through the cells. Tip 5 relates to stance and relates also further to relaxation. In Tai Chi for health, it can be very beneficial to keep the feet fairly narrow, about shoulder width apart throughout the movements. This is related to what they call small frame Tai Chi, which has a focus on relaxation. Small frame Tai Chi focuses on relaxation compared to large frame Tai Chi. Large frame Tai Chi, the movements sometimes are as much as two shoulder widths apart, and the focus is on strength and performance, looking very, very spectacular with these nice, long, large movements. They actually do have Tai Chi competitions. So sometimes you'll get a Tai Chi teacher that's a competitor, and he may be having you do some very athletic movements that actually can get the heart rate up quite a bit. Medium frame Tai Chi is a third, it's actually the most common form of Tai Chi. If you go to a class, odds are they'll be doing a medium frame. The legs are about 1.5 shoulder widths apart, so you have about 70% of the weight on one leg, 30 on the other. You shift the weight back, 70%, 30%. But there's still some weight on both legs, and this may affect the oxygen diffusion and some of the health benefits. And we need so much more research on this. But as a compromise in regards to, for the martial reasons, it gives you stability, but also relaxation. So there's still some tension. So if you really want to focus, maximize relaxation, small frame Tai Chi has many advantages. As you move through and you're shifting the weight, it's like water pouring from the full leg into the empty leg, and now this leg is relaxed. I shift back, the water pulls from the full leg into the empty leg, the back leg's relaxed. As you're going through, shifting the body weight from one leg to the other, it also works great for balance, which can help reduce the risk of falls. Even when both feet are both on the ground, I'm really balancing on one leg or balancing on the other. And you can enhance or exaggerate this a little bit as you get better at balancing. You even work where you lift one leg up a little bit and focus on the shifting, lifting the legs a little bit. This, though, does add a little bit of tension, so it's a compromise. You know, it's great for working on balance. You can lift the leg up actually quite a bit, move it slowly, step down, and then shift the weight, lifting the leg up, moving back, and slow. But they're still relaxed, still small frame, but keeping the legs on the ground and just shifting the weight. Look within what your needs and your goals are. Read some of the research on it and see how you feel and the benefits that you're feeling from focusing on relaxation, balance, or compromise. And again, even when both legs are on the ground, you're still doing a surprising amount of work on balance as you're shifting through the movements. The last tip, tip 6, relates to developing mental focus by focusing on the leading hand. Mental focus during Tai Chi can develop a state of mindfulness, being focused on the moment, which can help with stress and depression, and also with mental clarity. Focusing on the leading hand helps to still the constant chatter and stream of thoughts which are racing through the mind, what they call in Zen the monkey mind, constantly jumping around from one thought to the other. You can actually see this in EEG, the charts of the brain waves. This is very simplified, but you see the brain and the mind just kind of running from over-arousal, shutting down, kind of like the deer in the headlights, to falling asleep, having a hard time paying attention. Throughout the day, your mind's like this roller coaster of thoughts and stress and reactions. You go to class, the teacher asks you a question, everybody's looking at you, the stress is really high and you can't think, the teacher stops looking at you and bam, the answer pops into your head. You might find moments where you're in optimal cortical arousal where the mind is functioning most efficiently. You'll find that sometimes you get some of your best ideas in the shower. There's something about the sound of running water, why we like ocean waves and waterfalls, that seems to stimulate optimal levels of cortical arousal. With focusing on the leading hand, gives the monkey mind, something to do and calms the mind. This leads to more optimal states of cortical arousal, less stress, and higher levels of creativity. So you get that blue line throughout the day of optimal cortical arousal, optimal function, less stress. You'll find if you're prone to umming and awing a lot when you talk, you'll those ums and ahs are every time your brain's kind of shutting down a little bit to retrieve some information, like the little spinning symbol on a computer where it's working to retrieve information. You're in a relaxed state, your mind functions more efficiently, you retrieve information, you react, you deal with stress better. It's just a great mind and body exercise. So experiment, play with the movements, see how what Tai Chi helps you with the most. Talk with your doctor if you have any questions or concerns. Tai Chi for Health is less about exact movements and more about the gentle spinal alignment, relaxation, including the relaxed mental focus, and also on the breath, the relaxed, slower, deeper breaths. So if your hands are a little bit off, don't worry too much about the details, but more on the gentle principles that I covered in this video. And over time, as you develop skill and practice, the hands will become a little more exact in position in regard to the art. The relaxed, slow movements coordinated with slow, deep breaths, abdominal breathing, balance, spinal alignment, and foot alignment, coupled with a general range of movements are more key than where exactly the hands are. These principles really can help benefit health in ways that can be pretty profound with practice. So, taking these exercises at your own pace, start with a few minutes, increase your time as you become more proficient and comfortable with them. If you can find a group or some friends you can practice with, social interaction can be a great motivator and can add enjoyment to the practice. If there's nothing wrong with doing this in front of TV. You get up, you got your TV on, you're doing your show, you're doing the Tai Chi. Maybe not quite as mindful, but that's the time when you can do it. You'll find when and where it fits. So it's not necessarily as easy as taking a pill, but with discipline and practice, even from a wheelchair, there are people who do these exercises from a wheelchair, focusing on many of the same principles. So it's not as easy as taking a pill. Consistent practice can be rewarding and great for the health of your mind and body. Practice of any exercise can develop a discipline which can benefit many areas of life, including enjoyment. So see what your doctor thinks and see how these exercises work for you. Yours in health, Dr. Gryffin.